encourage you to do so that you do have a say in what's happening. I have found a couple of cities that just have elected not to vote at all, and I don't understand that. It's very confusing to me. Yet they're the same ones that seem to complain when things are not going their way. And so I want you to have that say. 3 votes you may think that that's not a lot, but that may just make the difference in the end. So that's all I have to say for you right now. I don't think you can ask questions. Is that correct?
Right. No, it's not, since it's not on the agenda, we won't ask questions.
No problem. If you could get on your next agenda, that would be great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Did we have anyone else that wants to speak during the public testimony session? Okay, if not, we'll move on to item number, I think we have anything under number 4, so we'll move to item number 5, which is our consent agenda. All items under this section are recommended for approval for the consent agenda, but these items are of a routine nature and require only brief deliberation by council. Council reserves the right to remove any item on the consent agenda for further deliberation. Item A, approve minutes of November 12th regular council meeting. Item B, approve bills payable for period ending November 12th, 2019. Item C, approve 4th quarter crime district financial report. Item D, approve 4th quarter stormwater financial report. And item E, approve 4th quarter and annual investment report. As well as F, which is approval, it was in red, so I didn't approval of Texas Volkswagen Environmental Mitigation Grant Program funding contracts number 582-20-1165-BW and number 582-20-11666-BW for purchase of 2 garbage trucks and 1 street sweeper through Texas Commission of Environmental Quality. Thank you, John, because that's pretty important.
I make a motion to approve items A through E and let's pull it up. Ask Gordon to.
We have a motion to, do we have a second? Second. We have a motion to approve items A through E on the consent agenda. All in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed. Motion carries. We will now move to item 6, which is F from the consent agenda, approval regarding the purchase of the garbage trucks and street sweepers.
Mayor Pro Tem and Councilman, basically we received at the last minute, that's why we asked for an addendum on this to get to this council meeting, is that we actually received approval on 2 contracts. Basically, we applied for 3 trucks and 1 street sweeper, and we received grants on 2 trucks in the street sweeper. The grants were based on the years of the trucks and as far as also the mitigation from emissions, depending on the engine that was in the truck and or the age of the truck, things like that. And that's there was a rating and a table chart, and based on that rating and table chart, we come out ahead more on the garbage trucks than we did the sweeper. And I provided that full memo to you in there. Basically, at this stage of the game of this grant, is we're asking permission to move forward. Anytime you still can pull out, but we're requesting that we move forward and then bringing back before you on the December council meeting some financing options for the remaining financing that would need to take place to make this happen.
So what, I'm not seeing what you're referring to.
You
Are you referring to a document?
Yes, sir.
I don't see a document in there. I don't think it's in here. It just doesn't have that.
It was an addendum.
It was an addendum to this.
Yeah.
What is that?
It was by separate email.
Separate email?
Yes.
Okay.
He sent it out Friday.
Well, let's cut to the bottom line. What's the cost?
It's actually in this packet.
Here, I've got a piece of paper here that just shows.
In which packet?
It's in the packet. It's under the consent agenda. It's on the last F.
So basically, it's a grant, and you have to enter into an obligation to purchase within 24 months to take advantage of the grant.
Also provided, in that same email was up the actual contracts.
Right.
I have those here too.
Marvin, I don't think tell me what page this PDF is on.
right behind where we did the, quarterly reports.
Mr. Chisholm, you see it?
I'm ready. I'm trying to look for it now.
Yeah, I've got 2 copies if you want.
I have a copy if anybody wants it. Here in this packet.
Yeah, I don't think, I got the email, but it's not in our
It's not in our
packet.
packet.
Yeah.
But it was in the email.
Right,
Yeah,
okay, but you say this in our packet, we don't see it in our packet.
Okay, yeah, in my eyes.
So the 455,000 is a cumulative amount for all the trucks?
Yes, sir, for the grants.
But I mean, it's to acquire how many trucks?
Requiring, 2 garbage trucks and 1 street sweeper. It's broken up at the top of that table chart.
Right, well, I see them individually, I'm just trying to get back to the.
See that?
So if we take the 813 minus the 358,
Marvin's there, Marvin's there.
Those prices are a little bit different though than what.
Yes.
this is the same.
This is actually, the first memo that you're looking at is the actual memo as far as truck prices are. I made a mistake on the truck prices. I think it's about $3,000 more in that particular updated memo. We're working with the finance group now for a complete package.
And we have got that from government capital.
As far as this is related to the sanitation trucks, just the 2 trucks, if you separate those, it's basically buy one, get one free. The street sweeper, I believe it's running about 35% maybe or less.
Yes.
Right.
And overall, it's 44%
Of the total,
of the total,
is for the street sweeper,
for the total of everything.
total of the 3 trucks. Okay. Why was Freightliner not eligible?
It had some problems with the paperwork and the emissions. And this is very extensive. That's one of the things I need to do now is to give kudos where kudos are, both my street superintendent, public works superintendent and assistant. They attended several workshops, gathered information along with the mechanic. We had pictures off the truck, complete verification. We actually had to take each truck in and have it inspected, and the mechanic had to sign off that the truck would last 5 more years.
And that's the one that would last 5 more years. It's a 2002.
But when they reviewed the paperwork,
Okay. I mean, I want to keep the best one. I know y'all said y'all had good luck out of the Volvo, the oldest.
yes, sir, it's time to move all over.
I don't worry about age, I worry about which one's more reliable. So what are we being asked to approve tonight?
To proceed forward, authorizing the city manager to sign the contracts, and then we will come back before you for the overall financing and picture outlay of what it would cost, broke down on that.
So what is our obligation if we sign the contract?
Is this
Someone said we could pull out anytime.
It's my understanding right now, you can still pull out after you sign the contract. Did you see that in
I
there?
read the contract, and, yeah, it's my understanding, you
Is
get
it-
paid if you perform and purchase the trucks that were in the application. So if you don't perform, you don't get paid. There's no obligation, you're not required to buy them. If you don't buy them, you don't get your reimbursement.
a contract, we lose the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Right.
The next step.
Right, as long as it's that condition, because, I don't want to commit to buying these until we have a financing plan, that we
Right.
know that we
If you
can
don't buy
afford.
them, within 45 days after the expiration of 24 months after you sign the contract, you don't get reimbursed. And
Right.
you don't owe them any money.
Okay.
I believe they
There
have,
are,
And we
I
have 24 months to make that decision.
I think so, you understand, that's what I read. Yeah. But
And do they have to be done all at once, or?
we recommend, this is a need that we're bringing to you, that it is
I
a
just
need.
mean, if we had 24 months, does that mean